Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started with Open Mic Live. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know the public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only i3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
Carbine, it's multimedia. You can get text, translate to whatever language, getting away with the legacy equipment and going into a cloud-based solution.
It's the first time in U.S. history that we have an EZNet through cloud-native call handling.
As a police officer, to have the victim go video, that's unheard of.
You're getting upgrades every month, not every year.
To schedule your free Carbine demo, please visit carbine.com/WTT.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Hey, what is going on? Once again, this is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started with Open Mic Live. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital Rapid Deploy as well as Carbine, and a big shout out to patrons as always. Thank you very much for everything. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for all of you, but especially all of you who are here right now watching, listening, supporting, and sharing. Thank you very much. Please make sure to throw in the comments roll call where you are watching from, and your number on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you feeling? 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. How are you doing? I am fresh back from the National Unit Conference that was out in Louisville, and it was an excellent time. It was pretty crazy. Only because I was just working my ass off as always. But it was good. It was really, really good. I also posted episode 445, and I've got 446 is going to be coming out soon for patrons. Oof, we got a lot of stuff going on. And hello, everyone. I see everyone jumping in here. This is excellent to see people coming in, throwing out their numbers, where they're at. This is excellent. Chad, what is up? And Robert, Shannon, Tim, Jason, everybody who's jumping in here. Thank you so much.
please also make sure to share this broadcast and share it to either your personal feed or your favorite dispatch page. And yes, so stoked for the hat to come in. Yeah, so I ended up doing a giveaway. So 30 hats, Rapid Deploy, one of our current sponsors, ended up sponsoring that. So that is excellent. And I have a box downstairs with a shit ton of hats. So I've got what's left over from the conference that I'm going to be putting up on the store. Samantha feeling like a good 7.75, but jet lag as a beast. Word. I don't have the jet lag, but I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. And thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Garrett Yo from New Jersey, watching on FB, is a 991 bowler, rolled in and out of Nina 2022. Yes, you did, and it was good. Again, the hats. So I got a box full of hats. I just ordered them actually yesterday. I just ordered them yesterday and they were already in. The distribution center that I go through, they do some excellent work. So I am going to be pressing a bunch of hats here pretty soon, and then the 30 are going to be going out for the winners of the giveaway, and then I have the ones left from the conference I'm going to be putting up on the store, and then printing even more with the hats that I just got in, because they went really fast over at the conference. There was about 40 left over, I believe, and I don't remember how many I took, but there were a lot. So thank you all for stopping by booth 123 and checking me out and picking up podcast merch and everything else. I appreciate it more than you know. Also, for stopping by and saying hello to my good friend Sarah Weston, who's the executive director of 911 Women Inc. She had tons of people all over the place over there too. So it was awesome. And a big thanks to Nina. As always, we've had a partnership since 2013 and they have been hosting the podcast. So I appreciate it more than you know. It was a lot of fun. Joyce jumping in here as well. What's going on? Hello. And so for today, if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments and I will read them. Also, if this is your first time at Open Mic Live, please throw that in the comments as well. And I always like to know if there's new people that are jumping in here. And we're going to be going through, actually, I'm going to be talking about a few stories that were shared during the Imagine Listening session just a few days ago, which was phenomenal. It was excellent. It was so good. And I'm gonna put a picture up here on the screen in just a moment. But also, I'm gonna go through some stories because tomorrow is Father's Day, and I absolutely love being a dad. I have fun with my kids all the time, man. I'm a big kid myself. and we've had just a lot of good times and everything. So I want to share some stories, but also, a couple stories from about my own dad, who's actually, unless they left already, he's downstairs. I should have set this up to put him on camera and have him tell some of his side of the stories that I've shared, because that shit would be funny. I'll have to do that one of these days. That'll be a lot of fun. Joy says, still so shocked people had never heard of you. I gave out your info a few times. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there are some people who don't know about Within the Trenches or the I Am 911 movement, which is good. I love that because that gives me an opportunity to share everything that I do, or also to have folks like you, Joyce, to be able to pass on the good word. So I am all about that, and thank you for that. Let's see, I mentioned 445 is out. 446 will be coming soon. So there was a major announcement that I was going to make this past week at the Nina conference, and I ended up not doing it because I almost felt like, in a way, it was going to be kind kind of rushed, or half-assing. So I didn't want um, to go ahead and just, put that out there. I wanted to make sure that I have it, tight, that I want to make sure that I've got everything taken care of. And it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. And I've just got a few things to figure out. But I'm looking forward to making this announcement. You guys will dig it. So that'll be coming up soon. So I want to share this picture here really quick and just kind of comment on it a little bit. Let me throw this on the screen. So here we are. This is an image that was taken during the Imagine Listening session. I had put it out there already, the original one, and thank you to everyone who was in there taking pictures and assisting me with all of this as well, from my homie Rob, Big Mac McMullen, his girlfriend Candace, but also Mike Aurora, and then my homeboy Ryan Chambers, and then everyone else who was taking pictures too. My good friend Juliet ended up taking a picture of me that is just such raw emotion. I'll be posting it here soon, probably when I get closer to putting this episode up. So it'll be 2 episodes for Imagine Listening as well as Open Mic, but it takes a few weeks to get all of the recordings back from Nina. And so I'll make sure as soon as I get it, I'm going to be putting it out there, and then I'll share this image as well. But when she sent me the picture, I knew exactly which story it was, because the story that was told instantly made me cry, man. It was a hard one, but it was powerful. It was a good one as well. If you have never been in an Imagine Listening session, I can't even explain what it is like to be in there with all of these people who know exactly what it is like to take phone calls and know what it is that you go through. It's very therapeutic. And what's amazing is that as soon as one person starts out loud sharing a story, more and more and more people start raising their hands to share their own stories. And we're in this together, and it was just so good. And I think one of the best things as well is, after every story, people were clapping for the person who shared. And this is a peer support session. So the first 30 minutes, it starts out, for Imagine Listening, we're sharing these IM 911 stories. And there's some hard stories that are shared. These are the ones that sometimes we bury, and, we put them out there, and others realize that they're not alone. And I'll admit it, it is hard. And I tell people, if you feel like you need to step out during that time, please do so. Or, you can hang in there the best that you can, but it does get easier because the last 30 minutes is open mic, and that's where we share all the funny shit that happens in 911. So we start out emotionally intense, and then we end with the funny stuff, and it's such a good time. And some of those stories I'm going to share here in just a moment. But man, thank you, all of you, for being there during this session. And as you can see in the picture, I have never been in a room like this. I didn't know it was going to be like stadium seating or anything like that, but it was badass. And it was really, really, really good. Again, every single story, and there were a lot of them that were. Let me see if I can reach this over here. All of these, like you can't I can't really do it justice right here in the camera, but these are all the ones that were written. These are stories that were written and handed in during the session as well. And so you've got all of these, and then you've got all the stories that people are sharing out loud and everything. And we're just there for each other in support, healing and finding some sort of closure through the power of storytelling together. So again, thank you all for being there and joining into this. At the very end, there was a person who walked up and asked me if I do this session in other places. And I had mentioned, I do Imagine Listening at state conferences, at national conferences. And there was also, the idea kind of being thrown around at one time for me to go to different centers or do, regional sessions of Imagine Listening in different states. And this person was wondering about that because they are part of a state 911 program. And who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe Imagine Listening will be coming to a center near you, not just at conferences, but throughout different states, at different centers, or regionally. I don't know. But there's something for you to think about as well. What do you think about that? If I were to come to your center and us do Imagine Listening there with all of your folks, I'll be honest, I wish there was something like this back when I was going through like my burnout stage. None of us at my center really wanted to talk about a lot of this. But once I started talking about things, a lot of different people that I worked with and others started sharing as well, and it was therapeutic. So it's definitely something that I would love to do. And Joyce, yes, state government, to be in attendance, to hear these stories as well, so that they understand what it is that all of you do. That would be amazing. We'll see what happens. Let me see here. I want to go back in the comments. Let's see. Samantha says, I'm going to need you to do an Imagine Listening world tour soon. I volunteer to be your unpaid tour manager. I love that. Thank you. You're the best. Let's see. Gary says, anyone from NJ, support me and send the note to NJ Nina, asking for Ricardo to be invited to our fall conference. Tim saying that it was amazing, always so powerful. Joyce says, Edie DeVilbus gave me tissues to take to your session. I forgot mine at home. It's funny because there are a lot of people who at the end of this session will sometimes say to me, why didn't you tell us that we needed, that we were probably going to need tissues? And I always have the same response. And that response is, had I told you, would you have stayed? Because I've heard a lot of people say, nah, I don't want to be getting all up in my feelings or anything. But sometimes those same folks are the ones that share a story or are there in support of whoever they're there with. And it is amazing. I always tell people, you don't have to share a story if you don't want to. If you feel compelled to, do it. Please do. Please do it. But you don't have to share one. Just the fact that you're there in support of your brothers and sisters of the Thin Gold Line, that's what it's all about. So thank you for those who are there. Let's see. Shannon says, yay, my whole shift is in here tonight. Like, how many do you have working? Are you watching me on your laptop? Hello, everyone. That's awesome. And yes, yeah, put me to work. Yeah, I'll answer some calls. Shit, let's do it. Yasmin says, Ricardo on tour. Yeah, it would be really cool to be able to do that. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that oh okay, I won't say anything. I'll just wink. We'll just wink, wink. Either way, I wanted to add some of the comments on here because there were these few comments that that folks had added, and I thought, it added a little more to this picture. There's some more pictures that I'll be posting throughout from the whole conference on the podcast page here soon. But this was one that I really wanted to put out there because it gives a look at the amount of people that we had there. And this is just half of the room. There's more people to the left that were sharing stories as well. And it was just such a powerful session and moment. So again, thank you all for everything there. And yes, Gary, and you were during Imagine Listening, you got a chance to explain that, and it was really good. And I can't wait for all of you to hear everything from the session, Imagine Listening as well as open mic. So I'm going to take this image down here, and I want to go now to open mic, the open mic portion of Imagine Listening, which is, the same as we're doing here. We're sharing the lighter side of dispatch, funny stories. So this is going to be interesting. So one of the stories that was shared was an older gentleman who, the way it was put was, yes, Joyce, you're right. There were international submissions. I won't say where, though, only because the person told me at the end, if I could cut that piece out of where they said they were. So don't put it in the comments. Don't put it in there. But yes, international submissions were also there, and I'll make sure to edit it well. But that person or another person actually might be on the podcast here pretty soon. So that will be amazing. I can't wait for that. Excuse me. So one of the stories that was shared, as Tim said, it was funny as hell. Open mic live or open mic there during that time was hilarious. Now, if you've been in Imagine Listening session, whether it be virtually or in person, by the time, Toby, what's going on, man? By the time we get to the end of Imagine Listening, you want to laugh. And I always ask, like, who's ready to laugh? And you see everyone go, oh, yes, please, yes, let's laugh. And then we do the intro. We start out and we start going through this and everything. And so one of the stories, and I always say it takes just one story for them to go downhill. And I always tell people too, you can share any story that you want. However, not all of the stories are going to be on the podcast in the episode, because some of those stories, they're just meant for us there in that moment in time. Okay. I think maybe there were 2 stories that won't make it, but otherwise the rest of them, they're all going to be in there. And as Joy says, I learned women might be the smarter sex. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the calls that were shared were about dudes being dumbasses, man, like hardcore dumbasses. For example, there was a call, there was like this group of dudes, okay? And it turned out that they were like filming themselves doing stupid shit, basically like Jackass, okay? But more low key. And one of the stunts, they had a rope, and they had it on like on a tree branch or something, and this guy, one of the guys, had the rope wrapped around his coin sack, Yes, the coin sack. And what was supposed to happen, I guess, was he was supposed to, I guess, like jump off a picnic table or something like that. And at the moment that he was going to like land, or that it was going to catch right on on the coins, they were going to loosen the rope somehow so that he would fall out. Okay. Yes, Shannon, coin sack. Hashtag coin sack. So I guess people had called 911 already, because the person telling the story, they had the information, and officers were headed over there. So, Carly, what is going on? So, police show up, and the dude had already jumped, and the guys who were supposed to loosen the rope split. Weird choice of words there just now, because the rope caught. They weren't there to loosen it, and his shit split. Why? Why? Just so that you can get some stupid ass views on YouTube? Dude, it is not worth it. Yes, Carly, and so did his nuts. Yeah. Those coins, they were gone. From what it was explained, the shit ripped and they fell out. Like, dude, no. I don't understand why. Why would you think that's a smart fucking idea? Hold on, let me look in the comments here. Carly says, "Oh hell." Tim says hashtag coin sack, and Shannon says hashtag split coin sack. Yes, yeah, coin spilled like Sonic tripping. Oh my god, you're talking like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Sonic the Hedgehog? Like, oh my god. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. And please, yes, please throw in reactions, because I'm looking up here and I see the reaction of the WoW one, and that is hilarious. Please throw in reactions. The more reactions that you put in there as well, the more like Facebook through their algorithm ends up shooting it out. So hold on a minute here, because I need to see if I can find oh this is gonna be something else. So what is it? Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm looking for. Okay. Are you ready? No, Julie. Hello, Julie. She says, "Left the Frank, lost the beans." Okay. Let me switch this really quick. All right. So, I'm sorry. When it gets really dry up in this room and I'm wearing glasses, my eyes start to dry up, and they start to sting. So if you see me going like this, it's because they're stinging. When I wear contacts, it doesn't happen. Okay, so let me start this again. Or at one point. All right. You ready? Here we go. So there was already a call that ended up going out, right? Because the person who was telling the story, obviously they had all this information. So this dude is about to jump, okay? And these guys, they're supposed to loosen the rope so it doesn't actually like tighten up. But because the officers arrived and the dude jumped, you think about it, the dude's jumping like in midair. You know, in his mind, he's probably thinking, fuck, am I making the right choice? It's too late now. There's nothing you can do. He only has the hope that his buddies will loosen the rope. But because those buddies saw the officers, they ran. They ran so far away. A little flock of seagulls there for you. So they run, right? The dude's in midair. The shit ends up tightening, rips, and the coins go everywhere. Did you hear that? Were you able to hear the sound effect? Oh, good. You could hear it. Shannon goes, bah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, my God, dude. Like, and thank you, Carly, for mentioning that. Like, yes, because that was perfect. It's so bad. All I can see is just that moment, but just seeing coins, not like the dude's, nuts or anything. Just simply seeing coins just flying out of everywhere. Just. Oh my God, it is so bad. You can't make that shit up. And this is why you will always have a job in 911, because people are fucking stupid sometimes. And it sucks. But that's why we are there to help them in any way possible, because that's the job that we do. And we love our job. But sometimes some people are, they're just looking for that attention or whatever. And stuff like that happens. Oops. Oh, man. So that story got shared, and like Joyce said, yes, it went downhill from there. There was a lot of different calls that had to do with dudes and their wieners, man. Like, why? So there's another story that was shared where a person, hold on, let me switch this audio piece back. Okay, there we go. There was another story where a person called in because Hank, what is going on? You're jumping in just as I'm about to share this crazy story that was shared. But it was a person who called in because they had a hammer stuck somewhere. A hammer. Again, like, huh? I don't understand. Oh, and Hank says, boy, did I come in at the right time. Yes, sir, you did. Shannon says, stop. Hammer time. So it is interesting, all of this, these stories that are coming in. What the person said was that they ended up saying that this hammer, it wasn't like a claw hammer. It was, with like the knobs more rounded. I can't even think of the word. But anyway, when the person is telling the story, they end up saying that, yes, ball peen. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Joyce says, I wonder if he got splinters too. I don't know. Shannon says, oh, the knobby one. Yes. Right. But the person telling the story ends up saying it wasn't the handle, though. It was the top side. Huh? What? So then, as the person is telling the story, Carly says no. As the person is telling the story, they end up saying something. I'm trying to think of what the other part that said. Oh wait, Joyce says this is why we have warnings on everything. Yeah, yes, because someone has already tried something, so that's why the warning happens. That's why it's there. That's why it's there. And Yasmin says, but why? That's what I was asking. I was asking the same thing. And then, wait, Gary says, did he get nailed? Jason says, I would have taken my days off with grace. Dawn, you came in at the right time as well. Yeah, so at the end of the story, because we're all like, what? Like, are you serious? I ended up saying, hold on a minute, because just like Shannon had mentioned about Hammer Time, like MC Hammer, I ended up saying, wasn't there an album, like MC Hammer's first album that came out, and it was called Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him? Hi-yo. Oh man. Those are the types of stories that were coming in, and they just kept going and going and going. Another story that someone shared was an elderly gentleman, okay? An elderly gentleman who I guess was sitting in a lawn chair, okay? And didn't have any bottoms on. I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember the main piece. And the main piece was the fact that the dude is sitting there, okay? And from what they were saying, this elderly gentleman was blessed with a large coin sack, I guess. However, where sometimes things are a blessing, they're also a curse. And I say that because this lawn chair had like plastic slats, and they slipped in between the slats, and while he's trying to move, they got caught, dude. They got caught. Yes. I can't even imagine. Like, thinking about it right now, I'd be screaming. I would be like, Lord. Because what do you do? What do you do from there? Like, you definitely need help. You need someone to help you, because you're probably freaking out enough, and you're trying to pull, and it's probably making it worse, right? And you're moving back and forth like this. Or just like this, like in the movie Hitch, when he goes, you're right here. You're right here. The whole time. Just right here. And if I'm sitting there, if that was me and I'm sitting there, I'm like probably rocking back and forth, like, okay, stay calm. Stay calm. What are we going to do? How are we going to get out of this? Okay? How are we going to get out of this? Start going into the TLC, like, what do we do? What's going to happen? I don't know what to do. But those plastic slats, like, sometimes, like, they feel like sharp. So the person moving back and forth, it can feel that. Yes. Yeah, so they ended up calling, man, and they ended up having to cut the person out so that they could be free. like William Wallace in Braveheart. Freedom. That's what happened. It was funny though, is that the person who was telling the story said that they made sure to tell them, like, don't cut the marbles, okay? Just make sure not to. Yes, yeah, yeah, Joyce. You know, though. Okay, hold on. Let's backtrack. You know that dude, if he was Commando and he was sitting in that lawn chair, in his head, he was probably like, "'Cause I'm free ballin', I'm a free ballin'." Oh no. Oh, what do I do? And you know, like, probably the next song in the head is like, "Ooh, wah." Get up and go get down with the sickness. Because, hey, no more free balling. Now you're freaking out. Now you don't know what to do. Oh man. Now you're just trying to figure out what are you going to do. Then someone calls for help, and yes, the freedom, finally, that of them getting unlocked, and you know the dude's like, "Oh my god." Okay. It's over. Oh man, the poor dude. You can't make this stuff up. This stuff happens. I want to look back over here in the comments and see Jason says, "Slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross." Dun. Oh man. Carly says the pop at the end. I always like to throw in sound effects to just, make it that much better. So you're welcome. But again, that was just one of the stories. There are a bunch of stories that were shared, man. A bunch. And there's some other ones that I remember, but I don't want to ruin it. These were just a few that I wanted to share from the open mic part. But what? Like, this is it's freaking crazy, man. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Again, this is 911. You can't make it up. So what I want to segue into, and actually before I segue, I want to make sure to address this here really quick, because I'm not skipping over it. I did see it here, and Dawn, my apologies as well. I see a bunch of people had said something back to you, which is why I was waiting until I got through these other stories and stuff. I wanted to make you laugh, but Dawn says here, funeral for one of our own today, so I'm at a 2, and so it was a dispatcher that passed away. So my condolences, and we're all here for you, and I'm hoping that with the story that you heard and some of these other ones that I'm going to talk about that are actually some personal ones, that we can bring that number up at least, a little bit for you. So hopefully we can do that for you. And I see here you say, thanks y'all. Now I'm on the console, but need the laugh. So hopefully that story there helped out with some of those laughs. So as I mentioned, and as you all know, tomorrow is Father's Day, and as I said, I adore and love being a dad, man. Like, it is so much fun. And I have, if you don't know, I have 4 kids, and my eldest is gonna be 23 believe it or not, like no shit, like I'm gonna have a 23-year-old. And my happy Father's Day to you too, Tim. And Don, you're welcome, my friend. You are so welcome. And I have an 18-year-old, just graduated a couple weeks ago, which is crazy to think. Now I have 2 that are graduated. And then and then I have 2 daughters. And so I've got 2 sons and then 2 daughters, and the daughters are the younger ones. And so I've got a 10-year-old. She's going to be 11 in August. And I have my 5-year-old who we actually celebrated her birthday today because her birthday is on Father's Day. It's tomorrow. And she's turning 6. And actually, when she was born on Father's Day. And it was funny because of, a week or so ago, she was saying that, that she was my present. And I was like, yeah, you were, for real. And myself, when I was born, here's the funny thing. When I was born back in 81, I was born on Mother's Day. So every few years, I my birthday falls on Mother's Day. So that's a pretty cool thing. So we kind of share that, and so that's pretty awesome. So I've got 4 kids. And there's so much stuff that has happened with them. Like there's so many stories. I obviously can't remember them all, but there are a couple that I do want to share, and a couple that have to do with my dad too. So I don't know about you, but with my kids, I don't sugarcoat anything, and I think it's most likely also from my upbringing, because with my parents, the way they were with myself and my siblings, um they didn't hide anything from us. Like if we had questions about certain things, they would tell us, and they would allow us to watch like horror movies, and even some some excuse me, rated R movies. But they would tell us, like, these are just movies. These are stories. And, unless it was something that was based on a true story, then they would tell us, they would explain to us because they wanted us to know. They didn't want us to be sheltered or anything. They wanted us to know. And if we were watching a movie on like, that had to do with a war, or again, like a horror movie or something, they would tell us if it seems like you don't want to, like, if you don't want to look, or if they felt like, maybe they shouldn't look, they would tell us to turn around or cover our ears, close our eyes, or whatever. And I think that's why I'm such a huge horror fan. Like, that's my favorite movie genre. Love horror films. And I got to watch them at an early age. And, of course, I remember them being kind of scary, but nothing like crazy or anything. So I kind of do that with my kids as well. I don't sugarcoat things. And as well from Dispatch, I don't sugarcoat things. So, and I will be blunt with them. And again, I don't know if you're this way with your kids, but this is the way I am with mine. And it's so funny sometimes because, for example, Logan, I'm pretty sure he was like 4, maybe 5, and he was jumping on the couch, and I was telling him not to jump on the couch. 1, because no, we just no, don't jump on the couch. 2, you might fall and get hurt. So I would tell him. And sometimes, well, I'll say this one time specifically, because it has to do with a story. He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening and stuff. So I said to him, Logan, you need to stop jumping on the couch, because if you fall, it's possible that you might break your leg, and the bone is going to be sticking out. There's going to be blood everywhere, dude. And I'm not taking you to the hospital because I'm grilling today. I'm going to grill today, and you're just going to be there. And he's just, well, okay. And then he sat down. And I said, it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, you might fall, but it's not going to be like that. But don't jump on the couch. And he's like, okay. So get this. A couple weekends later, one of his little friends is visiting. Oh, Jason says, better walk it off. That's right, dude, right? Yes. One of his little friends is visiting, and she's jumping on the couch. And I had the grill going, and I was getting ready to take the meat out that I was going to grill, and I stopped. And I turned around. Gary says, today's kids would call child services. Oh, okay, hold on a minute. I've got a story about that. And if my mom is watching right now, she probably knows exactly the story I'm going to tell. And it's funny as shit. Okay, so I stop and I turn and I look at them, and Logan is just sitting on the couch, cool as a cucumber. And his friend, she's jumping on the couch. And I said, hey, I need you to stop jumping on the couch, because I don't want you to fall and break your leg and bleed everywhere. I don't want that to happen. And she goes, what? And I said, yeah, I don't, because I don't want anything to happen to you. And and Logan goes, he's serious. He's grilling today. He's not going to take you. I had to bite my lip so that I didn't laugh in front of them, because, you know, when you commit to saying, you know, when you're trying to discipline your kid, sometimes funny shit happens, and you got to just, this look right here, and then quickly walk away so that you can laugh. Yes. Quickly. Yes, you're right, Jason. You got to stay in character. And Tim, yes, hashtag grilling today. You got to stay in character. And Shannon says, walk that shit off, rub some dirt in it. Because if you start busting up laughing right there, then they're like, oh, this is a funny thing. And no, it's not. It's not a funny thing. So you just sucking the lips and still trying to look, you know, stern and stay firm and commit to what you're doing. And then you run away and you're like, ha, like, I can't believe that happened. Because I was not expecting him to say that to her. And she sat down right away and she's like, okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Martinez. And I said, you're all right. You're all right. You guys just chill out, you know, play video games or whatever, and we'll be good to go. So then when her mom came to pick her up later on, I walked up to her right away and I was like, okay, I need to tell you something in case your daughter freaks out. And I told her what I had said, and she busted up laughing, and she goes, good, I'm glad you said that to her. It was amazing, man. It was so funny. But, you know, sometimes you just got to be blunt. Now, I've got a couple other stories here. We're coming up on the hour already. I cannot believe that it's already going to be an hour that we've been here doing this. This has been really good with all of you. So thank you. So I'll tell a story about my dad, and he's probably going to kill me for telling this story, but it's okay. I'll be all right. I can outrun him, I think. But, you know, all of us, especially now, like, I get this, like, going with my kids to certain activities and stuff, and things are happening, and you sometimes you say shit and you're like, oh God, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So my dad took me to karate, and I think maybe I was like 8 years old or something. And we're all in line, okay? And we're throwing punches, okay? Just like on Karate Kid and Cobra Kai when they're there throwing the punches and everything. And we were all yelling, "Ha! Ha!" And my dad, for whatever reason, had a delay. It was like he was buffering, okay? It was like he was buffering because we had all "ha" already, and a few seconds later, he does the same thing, but he yells real loud like we were supposed to be doing, but we were supposed to be yelling "ha." And he yells, "Hey!" And everyone stops and slowly turns to look at my dad, and he's like, So, as an adult with my own kids now, putting myself in his shoes, dude, that had to have been embarrassing as fuck. Especially because everyone was already done and we were in this gym, so every yell there's an echo. So he yells "hey" a good few seconds after everyone was done, and it's echoing, and he's just like I can just imagine him standing there just like, "Okay, continue on, everyone, just continue on with what you're doing." Oh, man, it's so hilarious, and, like, when we talk about it now, he's just like, "Okay, guys." Well, actually okay, no. What he would say to me is, "Okay, Rich, don't be cute. Don't be cute. You're not cute. I don't know why you're talking about this." Oh, man, I love it so much. I love bringing up stuff like that because he's just like, you might be an adult, but I'm still your dad, and I can still break you." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." Like, you develop that look, right? From one of your parents. And my dad, even now, I'm 41 fucking years old, and my dad can give me that look, and I'm like, "Wait, I'm a grown-ass man. What?" And then he'll look again, I'm like, "Okay. No, 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 no. It's all right. You what?" But the awesome thing is that I developed that same look. I have the same look. So, like, with my kids, I can just look at them, and they're like, "What?" And I'll say, "Nothing. Just wanted to make sure you were paying attention." And they're like, "Oh, I thought I did something." I'm like, "No. Did you do something?" I mean, I don't think I did. Oh, man, it's so funny. Okay. A few little things here. Like I said, I love being a dad, man. And I don't care if I've been traveling all day or working all day or whatever. When I get home, if my daughters want to play, we will play. There have been many a time that I have come home and we play dress up. Like, I've got pictures all over the place where I'm wearing like these little hats and we're doing tea time because it's so much fun, man. Like I said, I'm a big kid too. And we'll play, or because like we're into pro wrestling, like we've got belts and stuff, and the girls, they'll have like wrestling matches. And because I'm always doing like announcer voice and stuff, like just being a dumbass sometimes, like Olivia has this little karaoke machine, okay? and you can get on the microphone and you can put like different effects on there. So one time they were getting ready to do a wrestling match, and excuse me, Olivia was getting ready to come out, and Olivia is the youngest, and I started announcing her, and she's like, no, you got to do it the right way. I'm like, what do you mean the right way? So she gets the karaoke machine, sets it up, and she's got everything ready. So she's like, you got to do the pyros, you got to do the music. So I put on the like original Hulk Hogan music, that dun 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 dun, where he comes breaking down, that song. So I played the music, and she starts coming out, and I'll go, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring, the Bivinator. And she's walking in, and I'm going, and she's just, yeah, pointing and looking. It's the most amazing thing, man. And then I'll do the same thing for Lola, and then they come out, and they're there. But that's not all. Like, while they're like wrestling and playing and stuff, they want me to commentate as well. So I on the fly, I have to think about a bunch of different things. So I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting years for this match. This is 10 years in the making. Finally, the Bivinator and Lola, the Lobo, are here, and they are going to be going nonstop in this I Quit match for the championship belt. This is so much fun, man. It is so much fun. And I just mentioned this because it's just that. It's that much fun. And tomorrow is Father's Day, and I can't help but love being a dad. And I did a lot of stuff with the boys as well, but now with the girls, it's just so funny, man. It's so good. And so one of you, who was it? I think it was Gary. You mentioned child services. Okay. So I want to say the story really quick, because this one is about my mom, and it is the best. And this will probably make you dig my mom even more. And I think I told the story already. I think I've told the story, but I want to mention it again. And Gary says, fondest memories for watching WWE with my dad Saturday mornings. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And like my grandmothers, both of my grandmothers stayed with us. So my mom's mom, my dad's mom, they stayed with us. And early on, WCW and stuff, when they had first come out, World Championship Wrestling, I was probably around 15 or so. And I mean, it came out before that, of course, but I'm talking about when we were really into it there and watching with my grandmothers. My first real job, I saved a bunch of money so that we could all go and watch it live. Now, I ended up having to work. They called me in. I had to work. So my cousin went instead, and they had a great time. Well, WCW was coming into Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they were going to be at the Van Andel Arena, and they were going to do a Monday Nitro, which was going to be televised. So again, I saved all of my money and bought tickets for the entire family. And it was so much fun. We were one tier up, looking right down onto the ring. And I remember the announcer getting in there and saying, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get started with Monday Night Nitro here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the Van Andel Arena. I'm going to count down from 10. And once we get to 0, the pyros are going to go off, the cameras are going to be on, and we want you to scream as loud as you can. The countdown goes. The pyros going off. We are on air on TNT. Everything is live. And we all jump up and we are screaming, as well as my grandmothers, who are in their late 70s, standing up right at the edge going, yeah. It was so amazing. My dad had to pull them back so that they didn't fall over. Like that was how much they were into it, just like us. And I think that's another reason why, you know, we still watch it so much, because it takes us back to those moments where we were watching with our grandmothers, because it was a lot of fun. They really got into it. See, Don says, mine are riding to the airport with my dad every week to get his paycheck. We would jam out to the best 70s music. I swear that's where I got my love of music. I love that. Trips growing up, going to Texas every year, everybody would be crashed out. I would be the one who's awake, and I'm sitting up front with my dad, and I fully put that towards him. I mean, my mother as well, but those moments sitting with my dad up there, and there's one song that I will always cherish, and it goes, the chorus is, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. And at the time, you know, I didn't really appreciate the music. Like, I dug it, but not as much as I dig it now. And I listened to those, and I told my daughters this story that we were in the van, we're driving to Texas. It was the middle of the night, and the song came on. And I remember my dad saying, oh, I love this song. And he turned it up. And I will always remember that moment. I talk to him about it every so often. And when the song came on, just like randomly one time, I'm in the car and my daughter's in there, and I told them this. And they were just like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was like, yeah, it was a great moment. And of course, I got emotional and everything. And but it's those moments. It's those moments. Those are excellent, excellent ones. And yeah, we used to listen to all kinds of music, and we still do. We drive around sometimes. Like earlier, you know, my dad and I and my brother, we went to go get some food, and we came back, and you know, we were listening to the song Baby Blue. And he's like, I haven't heard this in years. So we're singing it and everything. It was a good time. But I want to leave you with this story as we go into the wrap up of this broadcast. Okay. Being a parent is hard sometimes, right? It's hard. You're raising someone, and you're hoping, you know, that you do an excellent job, that you don't fuck them up. and it's out of everything, it's something I'm most proud of, is being a dad. I love it. So this story is about my mom. And if they're still downstairs right now, when I go downstairs, she's going to be like, Richie, why did you tell that story? But it's good. It's good. Okay. So I'm a teenager. Okay. And teenagers suck, right? We all know this. Teenagers suck because they always think they know everything. And I was in that stage. I thought I knew everything. And my mom wanted me to either clean my room, or I don't know what it was, but I was being a dick. I was being a dick. And I remember we're like going at it, like, you know, I'm 5'11". My mom is just straight up 5 foot. But dude, you do not mess with a Mexican mom, man. It doesn't matter how short she is, she will break you. Okay? She will break you. And it's not just Mexican moms. I'm saying all moms. All moms are like that. So I'm being, you know, a little asshole and stuff. And I think she went to grab me or something, and I pulled back, and I said I was a dumbass, because I said, I'm going to call the cops, and I'm going to tell them that you're doing stuff to me, and you're going to be gone. You know, I was being stupid. I was being stupid. And my mom got up in my face. Again, we're like this, and she gets like real close, and she gets all up in my shit, and she says, go ahead. Go ahead and call them. Call the police. I will beat you until they get here. And they'll probably take me to jail. But you know what? As soon as I get out, I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat you again. And I remember just standing there like, no shit. I probably shit myself. I probably did. My mom is super sweet. But dude, I asked for that. Yeah, dude. I asked for that one. Hold on. Let me go into the comments here. Don says, don't mess with a Puerto Rican grandma either. Sam says, I have found that only the most loving, most diligent parents in the world will honestly say that parenting isn't all sunshine and Lucky Charms rainbows, because those who find it easy probably aren't doing it right. Yeah, exactly. And Yasmin says, that's when you know you fucked up. Yes, dude. Yes. I knew that. Like, as soon as she started talking, like, I felt it in my soul. Started sweating as she's telling me, go ahead and do it. It's like, oh, a switch just got flipped. A switch to a mode that I have never experienced before. She didn't lay a hand on me. She didn't need to. Why? Because she used her words. Her words. Yeah. Her words. And her body language. Go ahead. Call them. I'm going to beat you until they get here. But guess what? When I get out, I'm going to beat you again. Dude. Tim puts hashtag, I will beat you again. Yasmin says, they don't care. They'll go to jail. My mom said it a bunch of times. Hashtag Hispanic parent mode. For real, dude. And Jason says, welcome to Thunderdome. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Dude. I remember right after that, I just went, oh, okay. I you know what? I think I'm going to go clean my room. And that was that. Never. Oh, man. Oh, dude. That I'm sure. Okay, so there was two incidents. There was that one. And then there was another one. Okay. There was another one. And I know I've told this story already, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it again really quick because it's a short one. Same shit was going on. I was just being a little asshole. And in the living room, okay, we've got these big windows looking out. Now it's nighttime. The shades are up. And I don't remember what my mom said to me, but it was something that I was not down with. And as soon as she turned around, I flipped her the bird. Yep. I flipped her the bird. Now, when I did this, I didn't realize that because it was nighttime and the lights were on in the living room, what can she see in the windows? That's right, me. She saw the reflection. And I know this because we made eye contact. We locked eyes. We locked eyes. And she yells, "What?" And I went, "Oh my God." Dude, if I could, I would have been like, yeah, running. Because again, as you said, Yasmin, that was when I knew then I fucked up. Bad. Bad. It was horrible. Oh, man. She turned around, walked up to me. I don't even know if she walked. I think she was floating towards me. And I'm like, ah, ah! And she comes up and pop, slapped the shit out of me, dude. And was like, you don't ever do that to me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Like, I'm so sorry. And then, of course, she goes, you just wait till I tell your dad. For real. Like, her voice went down that deep. Like, you don't ever do that again. Just wait till I tell your dad. And I was like, ah! Ah! Dude, those two incidents, man, with my mom. Shit never happened like that again. That was 2 strikes. I did not want to find out what happened in that 3rd strike, dude. No, did not want to know. Oh man, it's so bad. It was crazy, man. Crazy. Yasmin says no, and Brett's like, and Hank says run. For real, dude. For real. When I got slapped, that sound effect that I played earlier with the coins from Sonic the Hedgehog, that's basically what it was like too. Just cling, ling, 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 ling. Like, ah. Let's see. Sheila here says, or hold on, I want to read Yasmin. She goes, and if your dad wasn't home, you'd wait all day in anxiety, ready to die. For real, dude. Yes, because he worked 2nd shift, so he wasn't home yet. So I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. It was crazy, man. Oh, my mom and I laugh about it now, and I tell her still, I'm like, I am so sorry for being a piece of shit. I'm sorry for being that jerk teenager. She goes, but you learned, didn't you? I'm like, your voice just got deeper. Yeah, I learned. Back away. Let's see. Sheila here says, I used to tell my daughter all the time, I am willing to go to jail for certain things. She always thought I meant defending her. Then she 18 or at 18 lost her mind for a minute, stood up to remind me she was not 18. I said, okay, no problem. The only thing that changed was the charge. It goes from child abuse to assault. I told you there are some things I will go to jail for. That has not changed. That is amazing. Gary says, I remember this like yesterday. My dad had narcolepsy with cataplexy, and if he ever got super angry, he would lose all muscle control and just collapse. My brother and I kept arguing when we were supposed to be doing homework. Excuse me. He got up and started coming towards us with face. We knew we were in serious trouble. He suddenly collapsed face first, and my brother and I were screaming at each other that you killed Dad. He was fine, but it scared the shit out of us. Oh, dude. Yeah, that would have freaked me out too. Sam says, Mom mind games go the hardest, especially when their voice go down several octaves, the angriest, deepest, and at the same time, most chill whisper in the world. Yeah, dude. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Woo! Exactly. So Gary says, we never again did anything to get him angry. And Hank, later, man. Don says, going to have to catch up with this later. My guys are relentless today, kicking my ass. Thank you for joining us. And we are actually going into the wrap up right now. Thank you all so much for joining tonight for this special open mic on Saturday. Again, I couldn't do it on Thursday. I'd gotten home a little bit later, and just from the conference, and I was exhausted, man. But this was so much fun to do this with all of you here tonight. And for everyone who has birthdays tomorrow, happy birthday. For all the fathers and everything, happy Father's Day tomorrow, all of it. Thank you all for the job that you do. And again, for those who were there at the Imagine Listening session, thank you so much. And who knows, maybe you'll see Imagine Listening at a center near you. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But again, thank you all for being here. I hope that your numbers went up just a little bit. When I came in, I'll be honest, I was coming in at a 4. But now I am way above and have surpassed a 10 to infinity and beyond, which just let you know the new Lightyear movie is really good. So there you go. Thank you all again for being here. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital Rapid Deploy as well as Carbine. Shout out to patrons as always, and a perk for patrons only is audio versions of the DRT as well as Open Mic Live. If you have any comments, questions, you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're looking for any bonus content or these audio versions that I was just talking about, you can check us out and support us on patreon.com/WTT Podcast. Shout out to Tina, new patron. Thank you so very much. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And then the flagship show, Within the Trenches Podcast, can be heard 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.